mic icon, bottom left-hand corner. I'll let you know when you get it. It's usually just one click or tap. I can't tell. Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm one of the 79-year-old metal sculpture artists that never did keep up with records.
Okay.
Uh,
I
so
know.
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Don't, young folks,
Don't do that.
it.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
Oh, I really appreciate you saying that. And it breaks my heart, right? Because it would have been an easy thing for you to do. Like you just needed a way to contact those people. And even the ones that you sold like pre-email address, you know, there's ways of finding them still, right? And especially for you, like I'm sure your sculptures are a little bit higher price point, and so those people are even more valuable to you because your buyers are even harder to find.
Yes. Yeah. And anyway, don't let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. But also Larry, like, you know, your entire generation was sold the dream that you should be selling through a gallery. Like to be really successful and to really make it, you need to get into an art gallery. And everything that you taught, everything that you learned, everything everybody talked about was get into the art gallery. And I understand that that used to be the model. And in many ways, people are still convinced that that's the model. But the same rules apply there. You don't ever have any damn idea if you do get into a gallery who's buying your work because they don't tell you, right? And so the artist in question retains zero ability to ever market to that person again. And that is just, it kills your business long term.
Yeah. And also, I did 12 to 15 craft shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that no more. Don't want to do that more. It's not economical anymore.
I know. It's hard. It's hard. And so early on when I started doing this, like the first like 3 or 4 years, you know, you have your gut instincts, right? And you're like good at marketing, you understand marketing and everything else. And then as the years go on, and especially as I've been like running these sessions and talking to people, I've talked to thousands. We have thousands of customers. Okay. I've been doing this for a long time now. The prevailing mantra out there is, again, what I was talking about with the gallery model, meaning the way to make it is to get into an art gallery. Everything that you should do should be aspirational to get into an art gallery. And there's reasons for that because no artist wants to do the marketing secretly. No artist wants to do the business side of it. They just want to create and have somebody take everything else and have a real business. What never gets told is the number of people that are in a gallery model and making something approaching a decent income a year, and let's just say $75,000 a year and more, is no different than the amount of people that we know that play a particular sport versus the amount of people that make it as a professional athlete, right? Like take your pick in terms of sports. There's everyone that plays basketball and there's professional basketball players. There's everyone that plays golf and then there's professional golf players. Do you know what the odds are of making it as a professional athlete in a sport? I don't know, but it is not very good. There's making it as a professional athlete and then 2 rungs above that is winning the lottery, right? So where I was going with your point though is as I've cycled through everything, like artists and photographers that are successful that are making it today, it is understanding the business model and selling direct and understanding who your customers are and doing that. But the show and fair circuit, especially early on and especially when you're younger, is an incredibly effective way to find collectors, to grow a list, and to generate sales. And so what I've seen of the successful ones, there are the unicorns, the professional athletes, which everyone likes to talk about, and are so few and far between. And then there's selling direct and doing some sort of combination of like local stuff every year. And if like, even if you don't have to go and do like the entire circuit, but even like throwing in 3 or 4 a year, it makes a huge impact on a business. But especially, Larry, if you were keeping all the information on those folks, right? So you could continue to market to them. I know.
Yeah. I still do a show and that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really hard. It's the hardest thing about the shows is it's sort of, you know, it's like archery, right? Like if I gave you a bow and I gave you an arrow and I said, there's the target down there, Larry, I want you to fire an arrow at it and hit the bullseye. The odds aren't very good that you're going to do that with 1 shot. The odds are much better that you're going to do it with 4. And so when you contemplate the shows and fairs, you really have to do 4 a year, just so there's likely going to be 1 home run in there, 1 complete dud in there, maybe you get rained out, and 2 like close to break evens, right? So if you don't do the 4, you'll never hit it. But I have like one of the articles that I've written that I'm probably most proud of, and I'll pull it up right now. Where is it? Takes like an hour for me to read. So that's how long it is. So when I say it's the ultimate guide to successful art fairs and shows, I'm not bullshitting on that one. There's more tactical stuff that you need to be aware of when you do a show. And this thing, I'm going to throw it in the chat right now, than you could possibly imagine. And I find by and large, almost everybody approaches a show or fair, a concept thereof, incorrectly in understanding everything that they need to be doing. So I'm going to include that in the chat. I want you to check it out.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Larry. Thanks for the cautionary tale. We all need to hear it, right? Like nobody wants to be stuck in that scenario. And you know, as I was saying to Larry, like Larry's in here on his 70s. Larry's probably going to live into his 90s, and he's still going to be sculpting into his 90s. He's still going to have a business in his 90s. The way God made you people, or whoever you believe in, you don't turn this thing off. It never goes away. It is with you till death. And so no matter what time that you're learning these lessons and you're righting these wrongs in terms of a business standpoint, you still, in most cases, have years and decades to prosper off making these sound business decisions. The damn problem that existed is no one told you this stuff in high school or college, where it really could have had a lifelong impact to change the business. And that infuriates me. It infuriates me because they are just simple rules. You know, like whoever it was that decided early on, like, you guys are creatives, you're avant-garde, you get to do things differently your way. Actually, you don't. If you want to have a business and not a hobby, you need to treat what you do like a business, okay? Everyone says they want to have a business, and then they treat their art career like a hobby. I don't want you to have a hobby. I want you to have a business that is actually paying your bills and growing year after year. And so we got to take these things seriously. It's important, right? Okay, Andres, go. Yep.
I just want to reiterate what you're saying. I have 4 children, and all of them went to college in the arts. I myself was a dance student for years in New York City, before Barcelona, blah, blah, blah. And we often wondered, okay, we are learning the craft.
Yeah.
We are learning how to do it. We're learning what to do. But what we are not learning, what no one is teaching us, is what you just articulated. Yeah. No one is telling us the business part. And actually, when a generation later, my kids went to college, and they were starting to raise the question a little more sharply. What's going on? Why aren't you teaching us the business? It's almost like they didn't want to. Like whoever was holding the establishment at that time was saying, no. You just learn how to do it, but not really.
Yeah. Well, that's because none of them knew how to do it either. Right? Like, I'm serious, you know, especially the teachers. Like, you know, they go in and they teach and they teach and they teach. And, you know, I use the example. I got like an email from a professor at some art school in like Georgia or something. And, you know, he had everything next to his name, right? MFA, whatever the 3-letter acronyms are that, you know, like the Wizards of Smarth and the art world have. And I'm not knocking that, right? Like, I know that's an incredible education. But he was like, you know, 2 of my students have said, you have some very impressive things to say. We would love for you to teach a class. It just so turns out I have a slot for tomorrow. Can you be there at 3:00 tomorrow? And I was like, not only did you not learn the business, you didn't learn manners. Like, I have nothing going on in my life, and I'm going to stop everything and just show up and teach your class for you tomorrow at 3:00. That pissed me off too. But anyway, it's like, you know, why was there never a class that taught you guys how to monetize your creative talents and how to actually build a business? And further, how are there almost none of them today? There's almost none of them today. I hear these kids that are coming out, they're not getting any of it.
So I think one of the problems is that we think, for some reason, that there is not enough for us. There's only enough for a few.
I hate that.
It's like this philosophy of scarcity
mindset versus the abundance mindset. Yeah.
So ingrained that we just believe that, oh no, I just can't do any better, you know.
I know. And then all the pangs of self-doubt, and then, you know, aside from you, because you're the cool dad that actually went into art, the rest of the parents saying, like, what are you doing? This is only going to be a hobby. It's not a serious career, right? Like, you know, there's so much of this nonsense. But you know what the other interesting thing that I've seen too that I'll say is that me is like, I went to school. Okay. I took some art classes in school. I took a whole bunch of photography classes. I understand the concepts of framing, right? I understand the rule of thirds and what constitutes and looks like a great image. Do you know how often I'm wrong about the photographers that are the most successful on our platform? There are some people that I think that don't even know how to hold a camera that do great because they've been working diligently on their marketing and they found their little tribe that loves what they do, and the business is growing year after year after year, which is just so crazy. So it's like, where were the classes on marketing? Where were the classes on pricing? Where were the classes on negotiation? And oh, guess what? You negotiate. Every artist negotiates. Negotiation is one of the most important parts of how art is sold. Oh, by the way, why do you think the galleries are some of the most opaque institutions in the history of mankind? The reason they are opaque, the reason they don't want anyone to know what's going on, is because they negotiate harder than anyone else on the face of planet Earth. They just don't want any artist to know about it, right? Like, there's just so many things that are wrong in this industry, and it ends up just hurting the artist and the photographer, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
And what I'm hearing more and more here in this conversation today, but also recently, has been that again, the myth of scarcity is a false myth.
False. 100% false.
Yeah, and especially now that the markets are opening to the whole world.
Exactly right. The internet's changed a lot of it, but you could always have an abundance mindset in not a scarcity mindset, right? Now, how quickly you can connect with your little tribe, right? Like the little group that loves doing what you're doing. That for sure has been the most powerful it's ever been in the history of mankind, because, you know, like the live art show thing, right? Like you get people tuning in from all over the world, right? Like watching these things. Like it's crazy.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. And I love Barcelona too, by the way.
Don't talk to me, Barcelona.
Great town.
Yes, me too.
No one else has questions, but my rule for any type of European travel is I have to get some sort of two-wheeled transportation. And so my wife and I got a Vespa. I'd hit the Ramblas every day, go into those markets, get a bunch of food, and then just I went everywhere. Oh,
Lord.
Oh, what a great town.
La Ramblas can steal your soul.
Oh, that food is so good. And some of those Iberian hams. I mean, I know it costs a lot of money, but I could eat that prosciutto and baguettes and in the wine. I mean, come on. All right, it's good living.
So listen. So you guys say that you'll be with me, right? If I embark on this journey with you, you're gonna be on my back saying, come on, do this, do that, blah, blah, right?
Till death.
You're not gonna say, oh, sorry.
No. Till death do us part. We're not that's the whole thing. The whole thing is just a nonstop
That's
grind.
one thing that is so necessary. You need a partner. You can't, the creator, okay, so we have to learn. I agree, and we can. But the learning period, the learning curve necessitates somebody to be with you saying, I know how to do it, do this, you're doing this wrong, blah, 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 and pushing you, right?
The support and accountability is as important as you doing the work, is as important as knowing the right stuff to work on. All three are like three legs of the stool. And I'm not kidding when I say this, and I've been saying this the last couple of weeks on this. I resort to harassment, bribery, cajoling, threats, genuine support, genuine encouragement. I'm not kidding. Some of my customers will ask you, I've got this one Janine where she says she's going to go do a thing and then doesn't do a thing. And I'm like, Janine, damn it. Don't make me come over to your house, because I will come over to your house, right? Like you need a partner, and it's a lonely damn road is what it is, because you're all solopreneurs. None of you guys have you're not part of a company. You don't have an office staff. When you're having a rough day, you don't have someone there to pull you up, So yeah, there's a lot of that going on, but yes, we will.
Very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Andres. All right, Patricia, you're up next. Go ahead, Patricia.
Okay.
Yep, gotcha.
Yes. Well, I'm 67 years old, and a lot of these things resonate, of course. I really was blessed to get on Instagram, I guess, 2017, when I couldn't work anymore for physical reasons, teaching. And one of my students came down and says, here's Instagram. And so organically it grew to about 70K followers, and then it sort of flattened out. Then I got hacked, and then I got it back. Long story short is that I kept somewhat of an email list, but not nearly the amount that you speak of. And I also find for me, it's really difficult. operating, MailChimp and connecting with people, and then having that landing page. And I was never really able to build. I had an old website, but because I was so busy, because I did sell a lot of art and doing all the like just the marketing that you put up on your social media, and packing and shipping and all of that, it just fried my mind. And so when you talk about the email marketing, I know that it works.
Yeah.
I just really struggle putting it together.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And here's the thing. You should be struggling with it, Patricia. You're going to be struggling with it for years. It is a giant pain in the ass. You are going to be pulling your hair out of your head. And no one ever tells like artists and photographers this. Like most people, even people in your situation, Patricia, which 70,000 Instagram followers, you're obviously a little bit more tech savvy than you're letting on. That's a hell of an accomplishment, actually. But most of the people that are in your guys' shoes, like, by and large, you're not tech savvy. You've never really seriously marketed for any period of time. You absolutely hate it. And we understand that. We totally understand that. The only problem with what goes on in this industry is there's a bunch of people out there running around telling you can make it without having to learn this stuff. And you can't. You can either pay someone to do it or you can learn how to do it. We actually offer both options, but I would way rather you learn how to do it, but learn how to do it knowing these first couple of years are going to suck. They really are. I have to not only learn how to capture emails, I have to learn how to email those emails. I have to learn the mechanics of how to run a sale. I have to learn how to properly mark my art up. I have to learn how to do live art shows and a little bit more stuff on Instagram and Facebook. But when you come to terms with the fact that it's going to suck, especially early on, you're going to be supported, you start fighting through it. And you get through it, and a couple years down the line, you're like, wow, I can't even believe how techie I am now. I still don't like it, but I know how to do it all, right? And the business results follow as a result. They follow as a result. So Patricia, you need to sign up, honestly, with what we have already and the fact that you have that following on Instagram. Very, very, very powerful thing to easily tap into. You just have to start doing the work.
I just, like I said, it's not that I'm afraid of work. It's just that, and it's not an excuse, but this is kind of what got me into doing online business, is I didn't really have a choice because I had to really sit still and do everything. I built my whole business on a 4S phone.
Yeah, I love that. I love it.
Really, a 4S, until one of the guys in my family bought me an iPad. Yeah. And that was like, wow, iPad. And then they were filming me because I couldn't stand up, and I did a little YouTube channel on the floor from above of me working and just showing how I work.
Yeah, amazing.
On the floor.
Yeah, you had great instincts, because that still is highly effective and works incredibly well even now, showing your process. No wonder you got to the 70K on Instagram.
Well, thank you. But like I said, I now feel like the gray matter, I can learn new things, but I have a really hard time focusing on it. I mean, now I just want to paint. Yeah. That never goes away, as you said. You never stop being an artist because it's who you are.
No, yeah, you can't stop it. You can't turn it off.
I mean, I would paint if nobody was looking or buying it.
Yeah, you would. But do you know what? It's so much better. I feel like I like digital marketing. Okay. I'm pretty good at digital marketing. I've made a nice little career doing it. Do you know what happens when I retire? I'm not going to be doing any more digital marketing. I'm done, right? I'm going to be hanging my shoes up and that's it. You guys with the painting, I feel like, the having purpose for the rest of your life is real. It's real. And I know well, what do you mean? What are you saying? I don't have purpose? I have a church that I'm connected with and I have all my friends. Fantastic. But I'm saying having purpose, we're this thing that continues to drive you and motivate you to get out of bed in the morning. That's an awesome thing. So what an incredible thing to continue to do, to aspire to actually have the business grow rather than just have it be a hobby. It's more real when there's a business there. So I feel
when it gets to a certain point, you do need to raise the revenue level. And I went out and got a studio when the entire house and everybody in the house was living in an art studio. And so I finally stepped out and got a studio. And then my account got hacked for 2 months, and a lot of stuff went away, and the sales went flat. Like you said, 2,000. I was really good at that point of telling people how to survive from home because I had been doing that.
I could show you how to get an email list off of that Instagram account of 3,000 to 4,000 people in probably a week and a half.
No way.
Yeah, probably a week and a half. But I'm not talking about that publicly. And if you had a damn secret this good, you wouldn't either. I'm serious. I've got one customer, okay, who's, I'm not going to say his name, but I talk about him occasionally. He's got 1.1 million followers on Instagram, right? 1.1 million. He's sort of like a
Well, I lost 6K. I lost 6K during the hacking.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I have 2 accounts for art storefronts because even we've been hacked. Like everybody gets hacked. It's terrible. But anyway, I've got a customer that's got an account. He's got 1.1 million followers on Instagram, and with one post, I got him 2,200 emails last week over a 3-day period. Staggering what you can do on Instagram, which is why I said when you have that 70K, like you can really start cooking with gas. You should sign up.
Do you think you should shadow banned on there?
You should sign up
because
Patricia.
they really feel like
no. You're not getting shadow banned.
Aren't seeing the work.
Unless you're talking about Donald Trump all day long, I doubt you're getting shadow banned.
No, I don't talk
COVID.
about that.
Yeah,
I talk about art and I talk about positive stuff. And yes, no, I'm not a political. I'm an artist. I love to teach. I love to chat. That's why it was called Papatinsky Art Talk, because I like to talk about art.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And encourage artists.
Yes, you need to sign up, my dear. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that because you and I have the same name. We can help you. We can help you get this thing going quickly.
We have the same name.
Patricia, Patrick. Yeah, pretty close.
Oh, Patrick.
Yeah.
Duh. See what I mean? The gray matter.
Yeah. You're saying that. I'm 43 and I feel like there's not room for anything new. When the new stuff comes in, something old goes out. It's full up in there now. But yeah, we can help you, Patricia. I'm not kidding.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Are you really going to do the free web design?
Yes.
That would be the best.
Yes.
I mean, I just don't want to.
No one wants to. That's the whole thing, okay?
Well, I used to, years ago, I was a graphic designer. That's all I did.
I don't care, Patricia. 3 things. Number 1, artists and photographers need to work on creating the thing. 2, you need to work on marketing the thing. 3, you need to work on selling the thing. Nothing else. Not GoDaddy, not HTML, not JavaScript, not CSS, not forms, not uploading things, none of that nonsense. That's why we do all of it. We don't want you to do it.
Okay, well, I mean, that to me is a huge hook because I've had this torn apart website for years.
Yes,
I only had it up because
doing nothing for
I
you.
was back in the day where they were selling in galleries. And the only reason I had that up was to help the galleries because I couldn't put prices on there or sell that way, or I would undermine my own integrity with the galleries.
Yep.
So I never sold through my website. And now if I even look near a gallery, they're like, I don't deal with local artists. They rip me off and everything. And I'm just like, well, you don't know me. I'm old school.
Yeah.
And I never sold.
I'm not kidding, Patricia. You need to go get a demo. You need to sign up. We can help you significantly. Not kidding. You have to be willing to do some work. But if you're willing to do some work, you should.
I'm willing to do some work as long as you guys will help me set that site up.
Yeah, you're not going to touch the website. We're going to build that whole thing for you.
Yay. Okay.
Done.
I'll be quiet now.
Okay. And I want to see that Instagram account later. Okay, Leslie, you're up next. Go ahead, Leslie. You'll need to unmute, Leslie. I'll know when you get it. Yep, got you.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a question about Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
I had Instagram and Facebook accounts years ago.
Yes.
I canceled my Facebook account 3 years ago, and I canceled my Instagram account probably a few months ago.
Yep.
I don't know if they'll ever let me back on.
Oh, they'll let you back on, but they're not going to give you your accounts back.
Say again?
They'll let you back on, but they're not going to reinstate your accounts for you.
Well, I don't care about that, but they were under my actual name, and so I don't know if they'll let me back on.
Yeah. They'll let you back on. Trust me. They'll let anybody back on. Aside from the aforementioned people talking about COVID being a hoax and/or Donald Trump, you're all good. That's what I said at least.
There was some political stuff on there.
Yeah.
Not on Instagram, but on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you canceled years ago, trust me, you're going to be fine. The worst case scenario that you might have to do is you have to use a different email when you sign up. But other than that, no problem.
Also, I'm pretty uncomfortable about doing live YouTube personal.
Oh, you're the one, Leslie. Everybody is uncomfortable doing it. We are all uncomfortable doing it. No, almost nobody likes doing it. But it's one of those things you have to be contrarian about, right? Like, you wouldn't be uncomfortable, Leslie, selling art in person to someone face to face, would you?
No.
I get that. I don't hear that in your voice. So it's no different doing it on camera. It's the same thing. Trust me, my dear. I've been working in this company for a long time. Prior to the pandemic, you never saw my face once ever because I hated being on video, but I saw the writing on the wall and I realized, okay, we got to start doing this all the time. Been doing it all the time since. You get over it. You get over it quickly because it's just the best way to sell art is in person, face to face. The next best way is the closest you can get to that. The closest you can get to that is live video and Zoom. It's not even close. Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't even had my first call with your company to see if it's even a good fit. So I'm waiting for them to call me.
Okay. I'll put you to the list and I'll make sure that they call you. Let me just write down your name so I don't forget, Leslie.
Okay. I have robocaller on my phone, so I hope they can get through.
They'll email you if they can't.
Sorry, say it again.
They'll email you if they can't get through.
Okay.
Yeah,
very
say,
good.
Hey, I tried calling. Call me back on this number. Whatever. They'll do that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Leslie. And honestly, don't worry about the video thing. Like the amount of poking and prodding and encouragement and hand-holding and encouragement and bribery and harassment and accountability that I have to do to get everyone to run video is staggering. But you know what? Everyone usually gets through the first couple and they're like, I screwed up. I was nervous. I dropped the phone. I have some customers that they'll think they're using the phone this way instead of this way when everyone's like on Instagram. And so you'll see them holding the art. In their first art show, they'll literally look like this. So, hey guys, here's the piece. They do it completely sideways. And you just laugh at yourself and you get over it. And you're like, you know what? Who cares? Nobody cares, right? Like, it's just, it's the world that we live in now. And it's incredibly powerful and it's incredibly easy when you do it. And not only that, like in terms of arbitrage, every artist and their brother is out there saying they don't want to do it. So what will that mean when you do it? You're going to shine out like crazy. Wendy, okay, I'm unmuting you. I'm reading this, Wendy, so I can figure this out. I also want to talk about price when you do a commission artwork. How do I price out a big piece if they want it delivered or they pick it up to the rep? Okay, I mostly have that. Ask me again, though, Wendy, so it's more concise.
Oh, okay. So I got hired to do a commission piece with guy, and he said, I'm Neanderthal, Jewish, whatever, just make whatever you want. But it has to do with something like that because I like your style. So I was like, okay.
Cool. So
I've been selling commission pieces for about 1.5 years now. And that's my main stream of income. So I have this big piece, right? And we never discussed the delivering fee. Like he's supposed to pick it up because I have a 78 Pontiac Trans Am. So like, obviously I can't ship it to him. And he lives about 40 minutes away. So I was like, damn, I never discussed the price on like if I was going to deliver it to him.
Yeah. I know exactly. I know exactly.
So and it's like
the good
a lot of money already. So I'm like, I feel bad, like being like, oh, yeah, like how do I go about that? I should have thought about it before I gave him a quote.
Yes. Number one, I love the Trans Am. The fact that it's 78, it's classic. It's a real classic there. Okay, classic car. Yeah. Number two, thankfully, the expectation in art is not that it ships for free, okay? I'm just saying generally. This is a general blanket statement. The expectation is not that it ships for free. That's good. Third, you could hire somebody on Craigslist to do that for $50, 75, 100 at most, okay? So
Okay.
I would say I would go back to him. Did you get a deposit on the commission already?
He already paid it up front.
You already paid it up front. So I would complete it, and I would say, I realize we didn't talk about shipping, and what I arranged for shipping is I figured I would just get someone to deliver it, and that's when you can make a decision. Okay? You can say, tell them what the cost of it is. Find the person on Craigslist that'll take it there. You know, how expensive is the piece?
It was $5,000.
$5,000, yeah. So, okay. I trust Craigslist. Some people don't. So now let's go back to your options. Option A, you rent a U-Haul, you drive it to them, right? Or you find someone that's got a pickup truck and you drive it to them. Option A. Option B, hire somebody on Craigslist, right, and get them to do it. Or you could potentially use a professional transit company that's like bonded and insured and all of that, right? So you don't have anything to worry about. I would use Craigslist, just how I roll. You can say, hey, I realized we never talked about shipping. Can you come pick it up? How would you like to come get it? And the idea there is, don't make the expectation that it's free, right? And let them see how they react, because they might just say, yeah, great, I'll come and get it with a pickup truck, right? My uncle's got a pickup truck. Or, yeah, just give me a quote on shipping. Or they might just say, okay, I'll use a shipper, and it's a non-issue. You were stressing about nothing. If they give you static about it, say, you know what? All right, well, why don't I meet you in the middle? So I think I can get this thing shipped to you for $150. Why don't you cover 75 and I cover 75? Given that it's a $5,000 sale, and it'll probably only cost you $100 to get someone's truck, I would probably just do that. And the reason that I would just do that, this is my recommendation, is you eat the shipping, you figure out a way to get that there, because I want you to go meet this person in face-to-face, in person, okay? Now, you know, you're a lady, the buyer might be a male, that might be a little bit weird, so you might want to take a friend with you, right? Because you never know in today's day and age. I want you to be safe. But the reality is that you're going down there for someone that's just spent $5,000 with you. What that tells me is you now have a collector with means that will likely buy something from you again. So I'm taking that as an opportunity to go down there. I'm also going to mention on the phone some other big pieces that you have laying around that you're looking to move. If you would like, ask him if he would like for you to bring those as well, just to take a look, you know, because you have them. Or maybe don't even tell him and just bring the damn things in the truck. Okay, because if he sees the other ones after he's gotten his commission and he's so happy, he's going to be like, well, what are we talking about on these other ones? Fantastic way to generate another sale. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do in that case. Hey, and if you want me to bring in some other pieces that I've been working on to surprise you, I'm driving down there. Doesn't cost me any extra. Let me know. But that's what I would do. And you make that person feel special, they're going to come back for another $7,500 piece of artwork. And guess what? You'd like to get that sale too, wouldn't you? Right now you're cooking with gas. You got a collector on your hands here. Take care of this person, VIP status. Do not sweat them over a couple $100 in shipping. You can eat that. You can eat that to get the $7,500 next time.
Very true.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it's like a lot of 3D stuff. I put on these like stainless steel spikes surrounding it. It's like this big Viking God with like the eagle. I can show it to you guys real quick. It's right here in my living room. Okay. So there's over 700 spikes. The 3D part is all like plaster. Mm-hmm. I used plaster to add texture. Hold on, let me turn on the light. So it's a very delicate, huge piece that if I didn't like pre-package it or put like bubble wrap around it and say he picked it up and takes it and parts of it get damaged, then it's like, say he's like, oh, one of the spikes fell, or I don't know, like part of the plaster, something happened. Like, no, it's Patrick from Art Sourcing. Oh. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
That's my fiance. I'm like, I'm talking to Patrick right now. He called on me. Okay, hold on. Let me see. You see?
Whoa, yeah, that's gnarly. Thing's huge.
And I'm 5'3".
Yeah.
So this thing is 8 feet.
Not small.
And 6 feet wide.
Yeah, not small. Not small.
And let me show you so the face and the eagle, they're made out of plaster of Paris.
Yeah.
Right? And then all these little shiny things right here are spikes. Can you see? No,
yeah. No, I can see it. So yeah, you're obviously going to have to seriously wrap it up. So even just the wrapping is probably going to be like, you're going to be a couple $100 into this, but at the same time.
And there's like gold leaf, like delicate material that, that stuff flakes off so easily, but I didn't want to put a clear coat over that because then it changes the color.
Yeah.
It mattifies it.
Yeah.
So it takes away that. So I only put a clear coat on this part. on the plaster.
I would still try and take it to them, but like if at the end of the day, like if you're super stressed about it getting damaged, that's where, you know, a licensed and bonded shipper comes in, and then at that point we're probably talking about like $500 to $750, even though it's only that far. But you know, they'll move it in, they'll hang it for them, they'll do the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of on the line there financially, but you don't want to go doing this thing twice.
Oh no.
No,
No,
I know.
It would take forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I have other stuff here too. Like this one has like feathers on it.
Yeah.
You know, I have like a lot of it. I'm starting to put 3D stuff with plaster of Paris, and I put spikes and bolts and nails just to give it texture, and that's what people are starting to get attracted to.
And there you go. But you know, I can't begin to tell you the number of success stories, one, of my customers treating their clients, especially multi-$1,000 clients, extra special and them coming back. That's number one. Number two, the ability to show up at somebody's house with additional pieces to show. And it looks like you have a couple there on the wall that you could show. You know, there's all types of scenarios there where, you know, it's in how you frame it. And I would call this person up and be like, okay, I'm going to deliver it. And I still think, you know, and someone here on Facebook has got the exact same thing in mind that I do, which is like, you know, I heard the fiance's handy, like rent a U-Haul, right? Rent a U-Haul, make sure that there's plenty of padding, go with there a bunch of other ones. And, you know, when you get that person on the phone and tell them you're coming down, just like, yeah, because I'm doing the drive anyway, you're close enough. You know, if you lived in 5 hours from here, I probably wouldn't do it, but you're close enough. It'd be fun to meet you. So I'll bring a bunch of extra pieces. And if you want to take a look at them while we're there, we can do that too. And, you know, you can even potentially hang them in their house. Like that is the Shangri-La. That is the gold mine, right? Because no one can fully appreciate art like they can in person when they see it. And even better still is when you have the ability to hang it on their wall, right? Which admittedly is much easier to do with smaller pieces than it is with big ones, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Oh, okay. You did answer my question. And also I started a Shopify store before I started learning more about your art storefront. And I have a few pieces up there, and I have it linked to Printful, so I can start selling prints of those pieces. And those originals, I have them hung at a 3D design company in Hollywood, Florida. Okay. So they're on display right now, but I was like, I want to be able to sell prints. And I took you did a Zoom call one time, and you talked about prints being a good source of advertising, and it makes your paintings more valuable because more people get to them, whatever, right? The people that can't afford an original. So I was like, oh, okay, because everybody told me, no, don't sell prints, it devalues your art. So I never did it. And then when I heard you talk about it, I was like, oh my God, I'm dumb. I should have done this a long time ago. Yes. So I did it. But then I'm like, okay, Shopify is cool and all, but they're not teaching me how to market it. So I've only had it up for like maybe 3 weeks now, or like running. And I'm like, okay, I suck at marketing, so I probably need to take a class on marketing. And I'm learning about marketing and reading books, and that's where I need the most help, because it's like I took this marketing course with this artist girl, and she said there's no such thing as bad art, it's bad marketing. Like you could have really shitty 6-figure art that you're like, what the hell is that? And it's selling for $20,000, I don't know, whatever. But it's because the person's marketing it to the right audience, and that's where I struggle.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so would I cancel my Shopify store and then just like sign up with you guys?
Yeah, you would. I have nothing bad to say about Shopify. They're a huge company and they're freaking amazing. It's actually the biggest company in the entire nation in Canada in terms of market capitalization. They're just huge and huge and huge. But the difference is that they focus on a million different things and we focus on one. What are you doing again? Right? Like, you know, everything is a much tighter integration. Everything is just much easier because it's just what we specialize in. It's not really a fair fight between us and them. Everything that we do is just, you know, custom tailored to selling art.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, it's Monday. I should probably post something on Instagram, like me during the airbrush portion of the feathers of the eagle, right? People want to see clips of you painting it, or like do reels, stuff like that. Like people give me advice to do that, but I kind of need somebody to be like, Wendy, Monday, you're going to post one video of you doing this and say hashtag whatever. I need to know what to write so I can attract the right clients.
We teach
you know, like I don't even know what hashtag to put on all that stuff. I'm like,
or whether hashtags are even important, right? Like, you know, these are all the things you got to learn.
Does it even matter now? Like,
yeah.
Things changed so much. Like, I was posting pictures and everybody's like, no, you need to start posting videos. Pictures aren't really like a thing anymore on Instagram and TikTok. Do quick 30-second reels of you doing a quick painting and then the finished result or the process or you applying a clear coat, like something like that. And then I'm like, and then what do I say about it? Like, oh, varnish using liquid text, whatever. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm struggling. And if I can't market, my webpage doesn't mean anything, you know?
Yep. Everyone else on this call is in the exact same boat. All artists and photographers
are. Every painting I sold has been word of mouth. Yeah. That's it. Like, so-and-so saw it. So-and-so went to a party and they saw my painting in the living room. They asked the owner, who did this? I want her name. And that's how I get.
Exactly right. That's how it starts. And then, you know, your digital marketing activities will just start amplifying the what you have going on locally already, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
So definitely.
We can help you, Wendy. You should get a demo.
Yeah, okay. So request a demo.
Yep. And then let me know. I think you should do the U-Haul thing. I honestly do.
I think so too. I feel better me delivering it, handling it with care, than somebody picking it up, even though I wrap it and have it nicely. Like, imagine they just like place it and not carefully and something snaps off. Like, no.
Yeah, it's too terrifying. Just get some get some really big moving
anxiety.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it, Wendy. But thanks. Congrats on that commission. That's a great one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Chris. I saw your message. Good multitasking too. Chris was painting the entire time, getting it done, just listening. I like it. Okay. But who else, guys? Questions? I'm running out of gas. I had to travel all weekend and it just absolutely destroyed me. Okay, so Sulifiati, that's a beautiful first name. Patrick, at a portfolio review, I was told you were the show. And when I post the stories behind my photos, people will love it. I get how the video element would be positive. Is there any way to include the writing with the photos, or should I just do live? There's not any one thing, or any one trick. Like, certain people responded to different things, right? Like, you have the written word, you have the spoken word, you have, audio and video components in there. Then you have posting pictures. I do a combination of all of it. I really do. I do a combination of all of it. Where everyone fails is not like the individual little trick or hacky thing to do here. Like Wendy was saying, posting photos versus not posting photos, now videos. It's less about that and it's more about consistency. None of you guys ever do it consistently. You treat your marketing like you treat the New Year's resolution. It's January 1st. You sign up for the gym membership. You're all fired up, going 4 days a week in January. February rolls around, you haven't been once. And then it's over, right? And rinse and repeat until next year. So there's not any one little, wild hacky thing. Yes, Instagram is having a moment where it likes video. Yes, to a certain extent. Facebook is too. But images are still important. I sort of despise the, everyone is always searching for a shortcut. Everyone is always searching for a shortcut. Everyone else out there that tries to help artists and photographers, the majority of them are charlatans selling some short-term little thing that depends on some algorithm or some hacky this or some hacky that. There's always going to be the hacky things, but they don't ever last. What does last is regular and consistent and intelligent marketing. And once you start on the path to doing that, you're going to do absolutely great. So should you post images? Yes. Can you post long-form text? Yes, you absolutely can. There's other venues where it's better than others. It's better on Facebook posts than it is on Instagram posts. It's better in emails than it is on Facebook posts. You can do it on all three. You can do it on a website. Yes, you need to be doing more lives. You need to be doing all of the above more consistently. And once you get to that point, that's when you'll actually know what are the hacky little things that should be done, because you're actually an operator at that point in time. Instead of everyone telling you how things work, you're telling people how things are working, which is a fun place to be. Donna, go ahead. And you'll need to unmute, Donna. I'll let you know when you get it. Yep, gotcha.
Okay, I'm here. I just wanted to talk to you about the best way to do mail lists, because I have a pop-up on my website and I do all the Instagram reels and Facebook and Twitter and the whole lot, but it's not gathering any new names other than whoever signs up to my website. But apart from me adding products and trying to keep the website up to date that way, there's not a whole lot that's going on that's dynamic as, let's say, Instagram. So how do I get people to sign up?
Great question. When you contemplate email capture, it's not any one thing. It's everything all working in conjunction. Okay. And while you have an email pop up on your site now currently, which is very important, it's not going to be the be all end all. And when you don't have any traffic coming to your website, it's sort of irrelevant, right? But at a macro, yes, you need to have the capture on your email. Yes, you need to understand the tactics that work on both Instagram and Facebook to encourage people to join that email list. Yes, you need to understand how to leverage QR codes when you're doing offline events. Yes, you need to understand the fundamentals of a print giveaway or a merch giveaway in which people enter via email to win. You email everyone that didn't win with a discount to the store. You run a sale. Yes, you need to learn the various different ways that you can actually intelligently ask for an email address, right? You need to be doing more in regular, consistent marketing. When you do more in regular, consistent marketing, you get more email addresses. So it's not any one thing. It's a combination of all things and doing them all, doing them consistently all year long, right? There's not any one little hacky thing that's going to get you there, right?
Okay, I guess I was looking for one of those shortcuts.
Everyone is. I spent my entire career looking for them, and then I finally realized there is no damn shortcut. There never has been a damn shortcut, and if there is, it's probably not legal. It's going to get you in trouble, or it's just not going to work. Period. Right? Even this technique that I use to, it's technically not a shortcut. It's like one of these little hacky things that you figure out. But again, I don't really like the hacky things. Meaning, I know this thing's only going to work for a couple of months, right? I'm not going to teach everyone to do it. Like the regular and consistent marketing, leveraging any in-person events as you can, right? And doing that all consistently all year long, it happens. And it starts really, really slow. And then you start picking up momentum as it goes. That's just how it goes.
Okay, so
Donna's like, damn it, just tell me what the shortcut is.
Exactly.
Make it easy for me. Where are you from originally, Donna?
I'm Dublin in Ireland.
Oh, I love Ireland. I mean, you see what my last name is, don't you? No, you can't tell.
Pardon?
So I'm Patrick Shanahan.
Oh yeah, I know. I think you're wonderful.
Yes, I'm certainly.
I love to listen to what you have to say. It's really down to earth.
Well, I appreciate that. The wife and I did a trip. The wife and I did a trip to Dublin, and then we like drove to Cork. We did Cliffs and Moher, like drove to Cork, did Kinsale, and then came back. And I had never driven on the other side of the road ever.
Oh.
And I remember landing in Dublin and going up to like the rental car area, and the guy's like, have you ever driven, on the right-hand drive? And I was like, oh yeah, all the time. And I mean, my wife was screaming and yelling. We got like a little stick shift, and I went on the I don't know what you guys call them, motorways. We call them highways. I went on the highway the wrong way twice for sure. Sure. Oh, but I love that country. Driving around.
Goodness.
That country is so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Well, that's what I paint.
Yeah, I would love to come back. And then the singing in the bars too. Amazing. But there you go. I'm Irish. I'm supposed to like it. But yeah, there's no shortcuts. No shortcuts, Donna. You got to grind on that marketing regularly and consistently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I have a little bit of a blank when it comes to trying to work out this email business. I do collect them all right, but I don't have any big long list for all the years that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I kind of go, how come everybody else is able to amass these huge lists?
We have an Irish artist that's really, really good. I think she's actually in County Cork somewhere. County Cork. Her name's Aideen Glynn. You should follow her.
No.
Aideen, like the Gaelic spelling, and Glynn, Glynn.
Yeah, sure.
I gotta find her for you. You should like send her a message on Instagram and say like, hey, can we get coffee or something? Because she'll put you on the path, and she is absolutely kicking butt. Like,
is she?
Oh yeah, doing extremely well.
Okay, I'll look her up. Thank you.
Yeah, do that for sure. And you know what I'm talking about with that strange Gaelic spelling of.
Yeah. Fine. It comes natural to me.
Yeah, I figured. It took me a while to figure that one out. But okay. Just keep listening, Donna. Following the plan, or sign up and we'll start teaching you.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. I'm running out of gas. I did travel this weekend, and I'm just wiped. Voice is all out of whack. I was in the mountains. Guys, thanks for hanging in with me. Appreciate you all tremendously. Hope you learned something. Gonna send you the replay. The replay will have all the links, all the bells, all the whistles. Patricia, I wrote your name down. I'll have somebody contact you for a demo if you're still on here. Who's the other one I wrote down? Oh yeah, Leslie. So I'll make sure both of you guys get emails from somebody next week, and we will go from there. And hope to see you on a future session, or on a live, or on a something. But thanks very much, guys.